channel. Next video in a series of videos, let's build electrical mountain board, battery enclosure, custom fabric print, custom skinning of the enclosure. Look at this. Do you like what you see? And yes, you can do this yourself home. So let's go to my workshop and I'll show you exactly how to do this, guys. It's time. I got the package finally, guys. Oh, let's take a look. Brilliant. Right over the enclosure, center it. Nice. Oh yeah.
Papa. Papa.
Okay guys, so this is going to be just a really fast forwarded process of me laminating or skinning this battery enclosure. It's already pre-drilled, videos on my channel. I've got the specially made material for me with my design on it. There we go, got some names here. And this is what I'm going to do to cover the battery enclosure. It should look really nice. One difference to mention, guys, and by the way, this whole process is already on my channel twice. I've made two different videos on how to do this kind of process of using the resin for laminating stuff. And yeah, take a look. The big difference between this particular one and the actual deck is that you have to score it quite nicely, because this here is very slippery and smooth, so you want that resin to stick. Well, that's it. Obviously mask and gloves. Let's get to sanding. Attention on all these bends and curves. You want them nicely scored, because that's where you have to like lay the material nicely and you want it to stick really well. The surface is nicely scored and clean. Now what we need to do is we need to ensure that we will know exactly how we're going to lay this material. So I'm looking at this. This is the mortar side. So if I'm ever going to be standing the board up, that's going to be this way. So I want the image obviously with the head up. The skate freedom needs to be nicely readable, just like this. Okay, these are my edges here. Nice. Okay, looks like we're losing the wing on this side, and the right dream design build will stay. Maybe we'll push the gauge freedom on the side like this. Yeah, that actually could be quite cool. Yeah, that would be quite nice. Now we need to come up with some sort of idea how to fix this down, so when the resin is now sticky, you lay it down without any issues. So I think what we do is I'm going to mark the center of the deck, sorry, the center of material right here, and I will mark my workbench. On the side I'll do exactly the same. I'll mark the material and the bench, Same as here. Mark the material on the bench and on this side as well. It doesn't have to be center as long as the matches. Now we're going to ensure that we have the enclosure in the same position. Now this way material will match exactly where you just planned for it to be. When it's a carbon fiber sheet, it's fine because it's kind of same, but with the design you want to make sure you like it the way, or you have it the way you like it. Okay, I don't want the resin to stop dripping through the holes which we already made, so I'm going to tape those off. Okay, so we're gonna leave this now for 2 hours for it to kind of become sticky, guys. And all the leftover resin went on to a bit of a sticker bombing my homemade desk. Okay, so we're 2 hours later. We're nice and tacky but not runny. Perfect. Remember the marks were made on the table, so we know exactly where the enclosure was when we were marking out the material. Let's make sure it's there. So we got our lines, front and back. And now, let's put this material on. Match the line at the front. And now, we're going to try to apply the material as smooth, as nice as we can. This is quite strong material, so if you have to peel it back, you potentially can peel it back. Carbon fiber, there is no chance peeling that one back. Well, very little chance. So make sure if you work with carbon fiber, you apply it once. Okay. I think I have it where I had it originally. So now, let's work it all the way around, making sure it gets stuck neatly, especially around the corners here. guys, so 5 hours later, and the material is now stuck down completely. At the top, where we got this nice and straight surface, it came out really nice. It's exactly what I need. However, on the edges, especially here at the front, as you can see, I got some creases of the material, same as on the back here as well. Unfortunately, this material is very dense, like really stupidly dense, and this is why they were able to print the image so well on it. So you either get the quality of the print, I think, and use it on like really nice and smooth or straight surfaces without all these design features like we got here, or you will jeopardize the quality of the photo and get something a bit stretchy and thinner, so you can actually wrap it all the way around. But I like the challenges. I've taken on a quite complex, I think, battery enclosure, because it got the curves this way, at the back, at the front. So what I think we're going to do now, there's no way turning back. There's no way I'm going to drop this project now, because it is very exciting. I like the challenges. So we're going to trim up the material all the way around, and where I got the creases, for instance, like here, I'm going to make an incision. And I'm going to try to get the crease to fold in as best as I can, and then we're going to apply the resin, let it dry. It's a perfect day, really nice and warm and dry, so that should dry really nicely for me for tomorrow, and then we will send it down and take it from there. Now, let's go.
1, 2, 3, come on!
Okay, so I've done all the big creases, and now we're going to put a resin coat on it, and everything that is protruding slightly will be sanded down. I am not giving up. Okay guys, and now let's go for the first lock-in, soak-in type of coat. It's all dried up now, not dry enough to sand it, but it's dry enough to actually touch it. And I don't know if you ever cut the grip tape or trimmed the grip tape around your deck. That's pretty much the same with the material. You can trim it around the enclosure with the blade, well, at least most of it, and make it much easier for yourself when you sand it down. And now the best part, sanding down and then applying another coat or two. And next coat, guys, a bit of a better quality brush. Okay guys, so the last and final coat is nice and dry, solid, nice. Do I like the finish? Yes, I do. It's really nice and shiny, it's not sticky. That means the ratio was really well followed. That's good. But when I left this last night, it was absolutely glass finish, and for whatever reason I got some fisheye on it. I don't know if you see it or not, but those are tiny dots. Can you see that? This is something, I don't know, it's not a dust or anything. It's like a, I don't know, it's called a fisheye when the car sprayers talk about it. Could be like a silicone or some sort of chemical reaction, not sure. So what I decided to do is, I'm going to sand this down one more time, very gently. I'm going to apply one more coat on this and see if in the morning it's going to be exactly how I want it. It's still got the flex, as you can see, so which is good, and the resin is not cracking, so it's thin enough. So yeah, that's it. Let's send the bugger down. So let's wipe this off. One advice, guys, and obviously the people who are watching this video in full will hear that advice. This is not like doing a carbon fiber. Well, it is, like everything is exactly the same, but with a big difference, guys. You will break through if you are using normal material, especially thicker material like I'm using. So do not sand it down as much as you would if you're using carbon fiber. Okay, do not use a really high, or sorry, low grade paper, because unfortunately you will break through. So treat it a little bit more gentle. You probably will need an extra coat, so sand it down less and coat a bit more. And to get rid of anything that could be on the top of the deck, because I want this really perfect, like gloss. I want to try not to be wet sanding this down, guys. So methylated spirit, really fast. Do not rub on the same side or spot for too long. Just literally getting stuff off it quickly. So guys, I have wiped the cup with methylated spirit inside. I've also wiped the deck with methylated spirit. I really want to get rid of these fish eyes. It's quite interesting because I didn't get any of them on the carbon fiber deck. But anyway, it's my last coat. Nice and quiet. Family is asleep. Clean all the way around. You don't want any dust, any movement around your fresh coat. is next morning, guys. Look at this. Wow. Am I happy with the results? Yeah, very. I can see myself in reflection. Hello. Beautiful. No wet sanding. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Absolutely spot on. Perfect. Okay guys, so the final step is going to be to just take the tape off where the holes used to be, drill them through for the bolts, and also just get rid of those last little bubbles, drips from the resin, so the enclosure sits nice and tight. Let's get this done. Okay, so all the drips are now gone, so the enclosure will sit nice and flush to the deck. Beautiful. So this is pretty much the end of this video. This is how you custom kind of cover any surface. Doesn't have to be the skateboard enclosure, anything other. And yeah, that's it. I hope you liked it. Yeah, like, subscribe, blah blah blah. But before you go, and for all the people who actually had patience to stay back, I've got some tips that I'm sure you want to know about. Guys, do not over sand if you're using material. Carbon fiber, you can sand it down quite a lot after the first coat. After you put the resin on, it kind of comes back to life. With the material, it's very easy to break through. And if you do what you can use a bit of like a colored pencil, or you can use like a magic marker that's similar color. After you put the resin on, it kind of disappears, kind of goes away, so it's not too bad. Do not lay do not lay the resin too thick, yeah, because that's what makes the that ripple effect. Lay it thin and lay it fast, but at the same time, don't go long ways, like from here to there, then come back and do another strip. Don't do it strip-wise. Start from the beginning and kind of roll the whole lot, nice and slowly, straight through. And do not come back and try redo anything on this side. So as soon as you laid it, leave it, leave it and leave it, because it slowly will spread out, kind of level itself out, yeah. And if you're not happy in a couple hours, you can do another coat, or you can leave it for 8 hours, sand it down and go again. When you drill out for your holes, go with a small drill bit first from inside, so you can see where the center is. Don't push on it, or you could pop the resin right off the surface. And then you go from outside and drill the size that you need. And when I say pop the resin, and that's exactly what happened to be right here at the front. You see this? That was my mistake. That's me being silly. Well, it's the first time I'm doing something like this. This is an experiment. I'm sharing it with you guys as it is, without any editing. But in the next video, which will be mounting the motors onto these awesome gear drives, I will show you how this will come out to be. So holes now drilled, it's perfect. The only thing I gotta do is just sand down a little bit and work on them a couple of bits. That's fine. It's not a problem. Next tip would be, do not lay resin like in the sun or if it's really hot. What I've noticed, when you start laying resin, it kind of spreads away. It kind of like wants to run away from warm areas. It's quite strange. So don't do it. You want to do it like a garage in the evening, nice and quiet. Next tip, shut the doors, shut everything, tell everyone to go away and do the final coat in the evening, nice and late. And as soon as you finished it, walk out of the area and shut the door. Leave it till the morning. Any little tiny dust particle will land on the surface, and it will ruin it for you. Okay, next tip: when you lay the carbon, try to have a light reflecting at you and at the surface, and have your eye level kind of on the side with the surface. You see the light reflection? So this is what you want to see. You kind of want to see this light reflection on the surface, because when you lay in the resin, you can see exactly straight away how the surface is going to look like. It's really, really good. When you look from the top, it looks good. Then you start looking from the sides, like, oh my god, I've missed a spot. So that's another one. And next one. Do your mix ratio really well. 1 to 3. So what I do is 30 gram of resin and 11.5 gram of hardener. Okay, mix it up really nicely. Leave it for, let's say, 20 seconds. Let the air come out of the mixture, and then you lay it. For a size of a enclosure like this, 30 gram of resin and 11 gram of hardener is plenty. And finally, something came up. I was talking to my mate. Adding on more hardener will not give you faster cure time. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. If you want faster cure time, you need to go for a faster curing hardener, not adding on more and more. Your mix ratio should be 1 to 33, same as it says on the bottle. Okay. Whew. Well, that's it. Hopefully you guys liked the video, and hopefully this tutorial will help you to kind of understand and see how this works and decide if you want to do it or not. So pretty much you can use any material you've got. You can use a t-shirt if you want, okay? As long as you can put it down, glue it down, stick it down, and have patience to put resin over it and then sand it down, well, go for it. Alright, so that's it. If you have any questions, obviously ask in below. I'm always here to help and always here to answer your questions. That's it, and I'll see you in the next video. And the last important one, almost forgot. You know, when you spray around the edge, if you like kind of broken through the material, don't make that layer too thick. You don't want the surface of that paint smooth, because the resin will not stick to it, and it's going to be much easier to pop it off. Drill your holes after the first coat. You know, after the first sand down, drill them through. It's easier to see and less chances you're going to pop that resin off your deck. Another thing is that if you get that sticky film all over the top, you know when it's like dry and you had it for like 48 hours drying, but then you put your hand on it, you hold it, release your hand, and you see the fingerprints on the surface and you cannot wipe them off. This is sweating. So if you get that, don't try to do anything with it like, you know, white spirit and all that bollocks. It does not work. What you do is 2000 or 2500 grit paper, wet sand it quickly and buff it out. Bang, done. 5-minute job, and it's nice and smooth, and that's it. So yeah, there we go. And I have already fixed the chips. Still fresh, but now the holes are nice and neat. Nothing is chipped away. That's why I like working with this stuff. Sand it down, fix it.